All right, let's talk about a tiny 5-minute habit, one that has the power to totally rewire your brain. Sounds like a big claim, right? Well, let's get into it.
Okay, let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You wake up, and before your feet even hit the floor, you just feel this weight. Your mind's already off to the races, right? Listing all the worries, all the problems, everything that could go wrong today. If you're nodding along right now, this story is definitely for you.
So let's talk about this guy, Daniel. For years, this was his reality, waking up basically angry at the world. And the crazy thing is, from the outside looking in, his life looked, well, perfect. His story is a classic case of how what's going on inside can be a whole different universe from what people see on the outside.
I mean, look at his life on paper. He's got a steady job as an accountant, a decent place to live. I mean, he was paying all his bills. He really had nothing to complain about, right? But inside, oh man, inside was a totally different story. It was just this constant storm of dread, of stress, and this nagging feeling that he just wasn't measuring up. And this, right here, was the trap he was stuck in. He was living in that I'll be happy when mindset. You know the one. I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll be happy when I have more money. Happiness was always just around the corner, something that would happen to him. But, as I think we all know, that when has a funny way of never really showing up.
And then came the breaking point. It came from his girlfriend, Sarah. And what she said, wow, it was a total gut punch. It just forced him to face a question he'd been dodging for a long, long time. When did I become this guy? And maybe even more important, how do I find my way back? So he can't sleep. He goes for one of those early morning walks, just to clear his head. And he ends up in a park, where he has this chance encounter with an old man. And this one conversation, this one perspective, is about to change, well, everything.
The old man gives him this idea, and it's a game changer. He calls it practiced negativity. He basically tells Daniel, look, you haven't been unlucky. You've been training. You've been training your mind to spot problems, and buddy, you've gotten really good at it. And that just flips the whole script, right? His misery isn't some deep character flaw, it's a skill. And the best part about a skill? You can learn a new one.
And to explain it, the old man uses this beautiful, simple metaphor. He says, imagine your mind is like a garden. Every single morning, you're out there planting seeds. And right now, your garden is just full of these dark stones. Think about that. For years, Daniel had been planting seeds of worry, of complaint, of fear. But here's the miracle of it all. He could choose, starting tomorrow, to plant something completely different.
Okay, so that sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? How do you plant these new seeds? Well, that's what we're getting into right now. The old man gave him an incredibly simple, practical method.
And honestly, here's the best part. This isn't some massive life overhaul. It's not like you have to quit your job and go meditate on a mountain. Nope, it takes 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes a day. That's it. That's all it takes to start totally replanting your mental garden. All right, so there are 3 rules, and they're simple, but they are not negotiable. Rule 1, write down 3 specific things you're grateful for. Rule 2, you have to do it before you check your phone. Don't let the world's chaos get in there first. And Rule 3, you've got to do it every single morning. That's how you build the new pathway in your brain. Now, that word specific is the absolute key here. See, saying I'm grateful for my health is nice, but it's just an idea. It's vague. But saying I'm grateful for the way the sunlight felt on my face when I walked outside, now that's a real moment. The old man's point was that these little specific things, that's your actual life. And focusing on those moments, that's what really starts to rewire things.
So Daniel's in. He accepts the challenge. And what happens over the next 30 days? Well, it's this slow but absolutely profound transformation.
Just look at how this played out. On day 1, it felt totally awkward, forced. He's writing stuff like, the bed was comfortable. But then around day 12, something starts to shift. He finds himself actually looking for good things during the day, so he'll have something to write about later. That's huge. By day 25, he's waking up and he's excited. He's excited to start his day and do his writing. And get this, nothing about his life had changed. Not his job, not his apartment, but he had changed completely.
And by the end of those 30 days, this is what he realized. It's so powerful. All that joy, that appreciation, that ability to just be present. He thought it was gone forever, but it wasn't. It was just buried under years and years of planting the wrong seeds.
So look, this story isn't really just about Daniel, is it?
It's about the potential that's inside every single one of us who's ever felt stuck in that same kind of negative loop.
And if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's this. You can't always control what happens to you. Life is going to throw stuff at you. That's a given. But you can always control where you place your attention. And that's your superpower. Because where your attention goes, that's where your experience of life is created.
So here it is, your challenge, if you choose to accept it. It's super simple. Tonight, before you go to sleep, put a notebook and a pen by your bed. Tomorrow morning, before you touch your phone, before you do anything else, write down 3 specific things. Just do that. Do it for 30 days, and just see what happens.
Which really just leaves us with one final question. A question for you. Your mind is a garden. Tomorrow morning, you're going to be planting seeds. So, what kind of seeds are you going to plant?